Good morning, good morning, good morning, and happy Monday, everyone. I'm Leah.
And I'm Jim. Welcome to the very first episode of Natural Pace English, the podcast where we explore the natural world together, one topic at a time, all at a pace that's easy to follow.
And this first episode is a good one. We actually went outside, left the studio, drove an hour out of the city, and visited a real working family farm. I did get muddy boots, for the record. Genuinely, completely muddy.
That is so on brand for you.
I know, I love it. Okay, so this week's episode is a really special one because we actually went out, physically left the studio and went to a real working family farm.
Yeah, we visited the Henderson family farm, about an hour outside the city. It's been in their family for 3 generations, and honestly, the moment we pulled into the driveway, I just felt this kind of peace, you know?
Same. The smell of fresh air, the sound of animals in the distance, it was immediately calming. And then a rooster crowed right next to my ear, and the peace was gone. Gone. Immediately gone. Completely shattered. But it was amazing. So today, we are walking you through the whole day. Every animal, every moment, every fun fact we picked up from the farm family. We've got chickens, cows, sheep, the farm dogs, and one very surprising bonus encounter at the end. Ooh, don't give it away yet.
Not saying a word. Okay, real quick. This is episode 1, day 1, the very beginning. Natural Pace English is a podcast all about the natural world. Farms, forests, hiking trails, wildlife, whatever takes us outside. Each episode, we explore a different topic together, speaking at a natural, relaxed pace, so it's easy to listen and learn.
We're going to be dropping a new episode every Monday morning. So hit subscribe right now so you don't miss what's coming. And honestly, thank you for being here for the very start of this. It genuinely means everything to us. All right, let's get out of the car and walk through these gates.
So, the very first stop on the farm tour is the chicken coop. And I want everyone to picture this. We walk around this little wooden barn, and suddenly there are just chickens everywhere, free range, doing their thing.
Doing their thing. There was one just staring me down like she was the boss of the place. And you know what? She probably was.
The Hendersons have about 40 chickens, a mix of Rhode Island Reds, Leghorns, and these gorgeous black and white barred rocks. And their daughter Emma, who's like 10 years old, just rattled off all these breeds without even thinking.
Kids who grow up on farms are on a different level of knowledgeable. She was correcting me on chicken facts. A 10-year-old. I deserved it.
So here's something I didn't know. Chickens have a really established social hierarchy. They call it the pecking order, literally where that phrase comes from.
Wait, that's actually where pecking order comes from? I just thought it was a figure of speech.
Nope. There's a dominant hen at the top, and everyone else falls into line below her. The top chicken gets first pick of food and the best roosting spots.
Honestly, relatable. I also want first pick of food.
Huh. And here's a fun one. Hens can actually lay eggs without a rooster. The rooster is only needed if you want the eggs to be fertilized.
That blew my mind when Emma told us. I always assumed a rooster was part of the deal. Nope. Roosters are basically just the alarm clock.
And a very loud one. Also, chickens are not fully bird-brained. They have demonstrated problem-solving skills, can recognize up to 100 different faces, and show empathy toward other chickens.
Okay, chickens are officially underrated. And I feel bad about every nugget joke I've ever made.
We also got to collect eggs, which was honestly one of the best things I've done in a long time.
It was so satisfying. You reach into the nesting box, and there's just this warm egg sitting there. And you're like, oh, nature is amazing.
Peak simple joys. All right, we loved the chickens. Let's head across to the bigger pasture.
Okay, the cows. I was not prepared for how big they are in person.
Right? You see cows driving past on the highway, and they look like medium-sized. You get right next to one, and it's like standing next to a small car.
The Henderson family has a small herd, 8 dairy cows. And the patriarch of the farm, Mr. Henderson, has named every single one of them. There's Daisy, Buttercup, Rosie. And then there's one he named Margaret Thatcher.
He said, and I quote, "She's stubborn, she's opinionated, and she gets what she wants." And then he patted her on the nose, very affectionately.
I loved him for that.
So cows are fascinating. They're incredibly social animals. They form close friendships with specific herd members and get genuinely stressed when separated from their friends. Which I found really touching. Like they have best friends. They do. And cows can recognize about 50 other individual cows by their face and voice. They also remember humans who treated them well or badly. Note to self: always be kind to cows. Always. A cow also has almost 360-degree vision, so they can see almost everything around them without turning their head, except for a small blind spot directly behind them. Which explains why you're supposed to approach them from the side and not sneak up behind them.
Exactly. Mr. Henderson walked us through how to approach Daisy. Slowly, calmly. Let her smell your hand first.
And she just kind of leaned into it. She was so gentle. I was expecting something much more chaotic.
Dairy cows, especially, tend to be quite calm because they're used to daily human contact for milking. We watched the milking process too. It's a surprisingly meditative, rhythmic thing.
Very zen. Cows are also the source of something we use every day without thinking. Obviously, milk, butter, cheese, but also things like gelatin, leather, and certain medicines.
They really are remarkable animals. Margaret Thatcher gave me a look as we left that I still think about.
She just knew. She always knows. Next up, the sheep. And this was the moment I realized I have been misunderstanding sheep my entire life.
Same. Everyone talks about sheep like they're the dumbest animals on the farm. That's just not true.
Not true at all. Mrs. Henderson, who's the real sheep expert of the family, told us that sheep can recognize and remember up to 50 individual sheep faces and up to 10 human faces for up to 2 years.
2 years? That is remarkable. And they process facial expressions. They can tell if you're happy or stressed.
Which means if you show up to the sheep pasture having a bad Monday, they know.
They absolutely know. The Hendersons have about 20 sheep, mostly merinos for wool, plus a couple of Dorper sheep, which are more of a meat breed. And shearing day is coming up soon, which sounds like an incredible event.
She said the wool from just one of their merinos can produce enough fiber to make several sweaters. One sheep. A whole wardrobe.
And the sheep don't mind the shearing. It's actually necessary. In domesticated sheep, the wool doesn't shed naturally, the way it would in wild ancestors, so they actually need the help.
Shearing is self-care. I love that for them.
Huh. There's also a really interesting instinct called flocking. Sheep stay close together as a protection mechanism. Predators have a harder time targeting individuals in a tight group.
So the follow the crowd instinct is literally a survival strategy. Low-key, kinda smart.
Exactly. And sheep have rectangular pupils, horizontal instead of round, which gives them a wider field of vision to spot predators.
Their pupils genuinely alarmed me when one looked me in the eye. Very intense.
Very intense. But also they're fluffy and soft, and I wanted to hug every single one.
I did hug one. I'm not ashamed.
You were in there for like 4 minutes.
Okay, this is maybe my favorite segment. The farm dogs. Because farm dogs are a completely different category of dog.
They really are. Pet dogs are wonderful, obviously. Farm dogs are operating on a different frequency. They have a job. They know what the job is. They love the job.
The Hendersons have 2 dogs. There's Rex, who's a 5-year-old border collie and works as the main herding dog. And then there's Bruno, a 3-year-old Great Pyrenees, who is a livestock guardian dog.
Very different roles. Very different personalities. Rex was focused, alert, always scanning. Bruno was calm, almost like a bouncer, just watching everything with this quiet authority.
Border Collies are widely considered one of the most intelligent dog breeds in the world. They were literally bred to respond to complex commands and work independently to herd sheep.
We watched Rex herd a small group of sheep into a pen, with Mr. Henderson giving just a few whistle signals. It was one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. The dog understood nuanced directional cues. Go left, slow down, hold, just from different whistles.
I've been trying to teach my dog to stay for 2 years. Rex is out here doing geometry.
Ha! And then Bruno. Great Pyrenees are a livestock guardian breed, meaning they're not herders, they're protectors. Bruno actually lives with the sheep, like sleeps in the pasture with them.
He's been bonded to the sheep since he was a puppy. He genuinely sees them as his flock to protect. He'll bark at anything that doesn't belong. Foxes, strange vehicles, anything that triggers his instinct.
And he's enormous. Like, if I were a fox, I would absolutely rethink my life choices after seeing Bruno.
Same. But with us, Bruno was the most gentle, slow-moving, affectionate giant. Came right up for a head scratch and basically leaned his whole body weight against me.
That's the Great Pyrenees way. Absolute teddy bear with people they trust.
Farm dogs are living proof that animals thrive when they have purpose. Rex and Bruno both had this contentment about them that was honestly kind of beautiful to see.
Completely agree. All right, we've done chickens, cows, sheep, dogs. We have one more stop. One more surprise.
One more surprise. Okay, so here's the surprise. We walk into this small wooden outbuilding at the back of the farm. And inside are
Baby goats. 3 baby goats. Brand new to the world. 2 of them were born just 4 days before we visited.
I was not emotionally prepared for baby goats.
Nobody is ever emotionally prepared for baby goats.
They're called kids, by the way. Baby goats are kids. Which I knew, but I had never truly understood what that meant until one of them climbed onto my lap and just fell asleep.
She was just out. Full trust. Tiny little hooves. I felt my whole heart shift in a new direction.
Goats are actually incredible. They're incredibly curious, very smart, and
they have the same rectangular pupils as sheep. They can also climb things that should not be climbable. The third one, who was about a week old, was already attempting to climb onto a hay bale.
Ambition. Pure ambition from day one.
The Hendersons don't actually specialize in goats. These were a bonus from a doe they adopted last year. They were just as delighted as we were. Emma named all three of them. The two newest ones are called Peanut Butter and Jelly. The older one is called Kevin. Kevin. A week old, and his name is Kevin. I respect it completely. Kevin had a lot going on.
Okay, that is our episode for this Monday. Thank you so much for listening to Natural Pace English.
A huge thank you to the Henderson family for having us.
If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review or rating. It genuinely helps more people find the show.
And tell us in the comments if you could spend a day on any kind of farm, what would you want to do? We're thinking of making farm visits a recurring thing.
Oh, yes, please. I need to go back and see Kevin.
We all need Kevin in our lives. Have an amazing week, everyone. Get outside if you can. Breathe some fresh air, even if there's no rooster to wake you up.
Maybe especially if there's no rooster. See you next Monday.
Bye, everyone.